See, this is me, Boba Fett.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chiss Ascendancy Podcast. This is Josiah, and we are on day 22 of 30 Days of Boba Fett. It's day 21. I am exhausted. You might say we're getting a little long in the tooth on this countdown. We're getting pretty close. But today, we got a brand new TV spot, 30 seconds, called Authority. And I would say that this is probably the most new material we've gotten since the very first trailer that dropped. That was a little bit longer. So this one's only 30 seconds, but it's almost all new material as far as a lot of the visuals and especially the dialogue. So I have seen this one already, so I'm not going to do the whole reaction thing, but I'll play it one time through, just so we can watch it all together, and then I'll do kind of my thoughts and a breakdown. So let's go ahead and just jump into this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go full screen, and then once we get out of that, we'll do a little breakdown.
Do you trust them?
I trust them to work in their own self-interest.
I bear the mayor's heartfelt welcome.
Keep an eye on that one.
I keep an eye on everyone.
I'm here to talk business.
The Book of Boba Fett, streaming December 29th, only on Disney+.
All right, well, I was pretty excited about this one. I think that it's, like I said, it's probably the most new material we've gotten here in a while. So let's do this. I'll go ahead and make myself a little schmowla here. And let's just jump into it. And I guess I'll pause and play as I go. And we'll see what we see, shall we? A couple of really cool shots in here that I want to kind of look at and break down and talk about. Doom, 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 doom. Meow. Obviously, I love the music. 2 seconds in. I love the music. I love just the way that they're going about. It still feels very Star Warsy, but it's got its own feel as well. And I'm really digging the new Gamorrean look. I think that this looks really fantastic. And it makes me feel like if I buy a Gamorrean costume for this upcoming Halloween in 2022, I won't have to get too big of a size. You know, if you get like a Darth Vader costume, you just look ridiculous no matter what you look like. You're either too skinny or too fat for it. I think that the Gamorrean look here, I just look just nice on most of us.
Do you trust them?
Okay, so we got a couple of Trandoshans here. Obviously, this is the same crew, the Trandoshans and Klatooinians from the original, trailer and TV spot. You've got Finnick asking Boba if he trusts them. I'm assuming talking about the folks at this meeting. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Trandoshan here in the red with the cool cut-off vest, something like the Weeknd would wear, he seems to be more real, and like the Klatooinian there behind him looks more real, but the Trandoshan specifically to our left, the guy in the red's right, looks fake to me. I mean, CGI, obviously. Do you trust them, she says.
Trust them to work in their own
Of course, we see the Ithorian.
self-interest.
Okay, he trusts them to work in their own self-interests. So my guess is their self-interests are something that he's going to try to placate, meaning he wants to present a partnership with them that's mutually beneficial.
I bear the mayor's heartfelt welcome.
Who is this guy? I feel like I recognize this guy. And who's the mayor? What if it's the guy from The Grinch?
Heartfelt welcome.
Keep an eye on that one.
I like how the seedy underworld bounty hunter who like kills people just because and has to be told not to disintegrate folks knows not to trust the politicians.
I keep an eye on everyone.
I really like this partnership between Fennec and Boba. I really enjoy the fact that we've never really gotten to see him have dialogue with anyone that's like on the up and up. Everything's always like, you know, even with the Mandalorian, it was kind of like, you know, I pledge my allegiance to nobody. It's interesting, you know, obviously they have a business agreement, you know, I'll help you protect the child and all that stuff and, you know, episodes after that. But with Fennec, it really seems like, I don't know. I really hope it's a legitimate partnership. That would be really cool. If Fennec betrays him, I'm going to be so upset. I hope that Fennec kills Bo-Katan. Sorry, Radis Force Dad. I'm sorry. I can't stand Bo-Katan. I am sorry. She is not her sister. She crapped away Mandalore like 3 times. And then she had the nerve and the freaking gall and the guts to talk crap about the clone troopers. I've heard your voice thousands of times. Well, you know what? If it wasn't for those beautiful voices, a little guy named Darth Maul would still be on the throne of Mandalore. So, you know what, Bo-Katan? You're welcome. Okay, because I've seen this before, I want to rewind it. I cannot get enough of the spur sound from Boba's shoes. Okay, can we talk for a second about this dadgum thing? We got a guy riding a speeder bike up a freaking wall. It reminds me of a meme I saw of those things you can put in people's homes if they have trouble getting up the stairs. There's like a rail you can install, and the chair takes them upstairs from the first floor to the second floor. And the meme was this older lady, and she's sitting on there, and she's smiling from ear to ear, and she says, "This crap drives me up the freaking wall." Of course, you can put whatever expletives in there that you probably think happened, but I thought that was so funny. But this guy's driving a speeder bike up a dadgum wall. What is he doing? Okay, so we're going to just slow-mo this here. You've got the guards in the red that has the vibro axis that we've seen a million times with Boba. And then as we're going, is this a race? Maybe this is a race. You've got the kind of Solo-esque speeder there on the right in the white and gold or white and orange. And then over that person's shoulder, you also have somebody on another speeder bike. And this guy's going to take the old ramp. That's just cool. Of course, here we have the Tuskens. You guys know how I feel about that.
I'm here to talk business.
The Book of Boba Fett, streaming December 29th, only on Disney+.
I'm here to talk business. Okay, so obviously we know, you know what's going on with Boba Fett. He's there to talk business. I think he really is kind of I don't think he's like a super heartless guy. I really do think he's looking out for number one, but he's not trying to do it at anyone's expense. So we'll see. I think it's a great TV spot. We're like just 10 days away from the Book of Boba Fett. Of course, I'm excited about family and Christmas and all of those things. I'm super excited. A little time off of work to enjoy family and friends. But I wish that they would have aired the Book of Boba Fett on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I know that they're doing Wednesdays now because of the success of Loki. I wish they would have stuck to Fridays because, to me personally, the greatest gift, we're not getting Star Wars movies in theaters like we were getting for a couple of years in a row and we kind of got spoiled. I would have loved the Book of Boba Fett on the 24th. That would have been fantastic. I would have loved I would pay money to watch the first episode or 2 or 3 in a row of the Book of Boba Fett in a theater. I really would have. But I think it's pretty interesting. I think because of how he acts in books and things, it's going to be hard for me to wrap my head around someone who is... I don't think he's going to be a cold-blooded, heartless, ruthless guy. And I know that he's not really that character ever, but I think we're going to get a lot more dialogue. Obviously, he's already taken his helmet off like 1,000 times. So he's a different character than we're used to, but I think it's very interesting. I love the angle they're taking with him. I like if you just kind of look at the names of these TV spots. They're kind of expressing what his personality is going to be like. So I think he is. I think it's going to be very clear that he feels he's in charge or he's going to present a very strong front for himself when he's meeting with these characters. It says a lot to me, now that I'm thinking about it, that the Trandoshans and the Klatooinians and the Aqualish characters are all willing to come to the palace to meet with him. The Twi'lek character, you know who I think that is? This is why that guy's fishy and can't be trusted. Is that not the principal or the bad guy from Like Mike? For those in their late 20s, early 30s, right? Is that not the guy? Lil Bow Wow and the white kid from Stuart Little, they live in an orphanage and he owns the orphanage and he's trying to like mooch off of Lil Bow Wow's Michael Jordan powers. Is that not him? You can't trust the guy. He's probably got that terrible Three Stooges shimp bowl cut underneath those Twi'lek head tails. I think that's that guy. I'm going to look it up. But anyways, yeah, you can't trust the Twi'leks. But it's interesting to me, the point I was originally making, is all these characters are coming to Boba to say, hey, what's our relationship look like going forward? But you'll notice it seems that Boba needs to go to that Ithorian character, if that's what that picture really is. We'll see. Maybe it's just a character that's hearing about Boba Fett being on the throne at Jabba's. I don't know. But if Boba Fett does have to go to him, that says a lot about him. Maybe those characters in the red that he's having to... that Finnick is chasing across the roof and they're kind of against those guys. Maybe those are the guys that work for the Ithorian character. I'm super excited. I want to hear, does he have a vocoder, kind of like what they had in Star Wars Rebels where it translates into basic? Or is Boba Fett going to know Ithorian? I don't know. Or is he going to be able to speak maybe Huttese? If it's on Tatooine, which I think it is, based on the Gamorreans traveling with him. Or, again, seeing a bunch of Gamorreans, like a big, beefy, slobbery version of how the Porgs took over the Millennium Falcon. If it was just Gamorreans just crammed into Slave One, that would be fun. But I think it's going to be awesome, man. I love that they're still not showing us that much. And I was talking to the Blast Points podcast guys today on Instagram, and they were saying everyone that they know that has anything, any kind of inkling to do with the show, or people who know people, or, you know, who knows how many words of mouth are getting back to them. But the message they keep getting sent is just get ready. And so, oh my gosh, as a toy collector, obviously, I want to know exactly who all is in the show so that you get the action figures ahead of time. But as a viewer and as a fan and a podcaster, I'm so excited that it's just surface level and we've seen the first, who knows, dude, 45 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Man, to me, that says a lot about who's going to be in the show. You can even show the last, you know, the last 30 minutes of this first episode, however long that's going to be. And it's only a matter of time. Who knows, you know, we were starting to hear air times around this time when the Mandalorian season 2 episode 1, 2, 3 were coming out. We were starting to get air times of, oh, it's going to be 45 minutes. It's going to be 50 minutes. If it's a limited series, I don't know if there's going to be a second season. My understanding it's a, you know, one and done. If it is, and it's only 7 episodes or so, dude, please let them be an hour and a half each. I do not care. I will wake up at the crack of dawn every Wednesday and watch this. It will affect my work, but we will live. I think it's going to be amazing. I think that there's just so much speculation. Why are the Tuskens in there so often? Is it because I'm watching the trailer? Is that why? But who knows? I'm so stoked. You know, the Mandalorian obviously points to the Final Order and, you know, the Sith and cloning and all that kind of stuff. It would be interesting in the far future in Legends material, Darth Krayt takes over the galaxy at some point, and he began his life as Asherad Het, who was born to Sharad Het, who was a Jedi and then abandoned the Jedi and joined a Tusken Raider clan and became their chieftain. And his son was Asherad, who became a Jedi Knight but fell to darkness, was on Tatooine, was confronted by Obi-Wan Kenobi, who went out into the unknown regions and was captured by the Yuuzhan Vong and ended up, you know, needing this armor that was created from some of their stuff. So this is probably not going to happen. I'm just saying the way that the Mandalorian adds Ahsoka and points to Thrawn and the unknown regions and all that kind of stuff, it would be cool if it was far reaching and it was like, yeah, the Book of Boba Fett, but we're going to introduce a character like Darth Krayt, who is the villain in the far future, 50 years after the rise of Skywalker. Who freaking knows? I would love to see, one of the beefs that some people have with Thrawn and Rebels, I think he's great, but one of the beefs is I feel like he can't be in the original trilogy because he would be too prominent of a character not to be seen, so he's got to be gone by the original trilogy, and I feel like he was kind of cornered into his actions in Rebels. So the same way, I don't want for these characters we're falling in love with, Boba Fett obviously over again, but the Mandalorian and some of those characters, I would like for somehow their story to go around the happenings of the sequel trilogy. I don't want for it to be like, well, the Mandalorian needs to be dead by episode 7. I want for they can be somewhere else in the galaxy. Like the Skywalker family, their actions affect the whole galaxy, but the same way that, the economy affects the entire country, whatever country you live in, it doesn't affect every single thing. Like there's young people right now that their parents might be struggling, but they don't know the difference. Like, obviously there's galactic consequence in the Skywalker family and the Sith and the Jedi, but why can't the Mandalorians do their own thing over here? Why can't Thrawn do his own thing over here? Maybe he breaks away from the Empire. Who knows, man? He's such a protagonist in all of these Ascendancy books. I'm a little over halfway through the final Ascendancy book, and I want to see him as a villain because that's how I was introduced to the character, but I also am like in love with the guy, so I don't want for him to be a bad guy. I want for everybody to shake hands and be like, look, let's preserve the Chiss Ascendancy. They're fair. I don't know. It's so interesting. That's not even about Boba Fett, but my mind's going a million places right now. I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. I love seeing the classic alien species. I feel like in the sequel trilogy, we were so excited about creating new species that we lacked some of the traditional stuff. I would love to see, some of Greedo's, Rhodians. I would love to see Rhodians. I would love to see, can I see a Whippet on screen, please? Can we do a series about Krook on Disney Plus? Anyway, I'm rambling. Amazing TV spot. I cannot wait. 10 days. Can't get here fast enough. Thank you guys for tuning into the Chiss Ascendancy. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know when we're putting out new content. Feel free to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, may the Force be with you.